What happens in a woman's mind when you suddenly stop chasing her? When your energy is no longer orbiting her like a satellite? When the texts stop flowing? When the attention dries up? And when the silence becomes louder than words? You may think she forgets you, that she moves on. But Marcus Aurelius would say otherwise. He once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." And when a woman was used to being chased, adored, and validated, she begins to think and overthink the void you leave behind. Because women are not wired to ignore the absence of masculine energy. They are wired to sense it, to analyze it, to question it, and eventually to feel its impact. The Stoics, especially Marcus Aurelius, believed that detachment isn't coldness, it's power. They taught that the man who needs nothing rules everything. So in today's video, we're diving deep into the psychology of women, the Stoic mindset of Marcus Aurelius, and what really happens mentally, emotionally, even spiritually, when you stop chasing. This is not about games. This is about value, self-control, discipline. This is what a woman truly thinks when she feels your absence, and why chasing her was the exact thing that made you lose her attention in the first place. Let's begin. Asterisk, the first thing a woman notices when you stop chasing her is silence. But it's not just the silence of a quiet phone. It's the silence of no longer being the center of your world, of not receiving the good morning texts, of not getting the likes, the compliments, the just thinking about you messages. At first, she brushes it off, tells herself, you're probably busy, that you'll come around, that this is just a phase. But slowly, anxiety creeps in, because attention, especially consistent male attention, is addictive. It becomes a drug, and once you remove it, withdrawal begins. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." And this is exactly what happens in her mind. It's not your silence that hurts, it's what she thinks it means. Is he losing interest? Has he found someone else? Why isn't he chasing me like before? And suddenly, you're no longer just a man she talked to. You're a question in her mind that needs an answer. This is where the power of withdrawal begins. Not because you're trying to hurt her, but because you're living by Stoic principles. You've chosen your purpose over pursuit. You've stopped orbiting and started observing. Once the silence settles in, a second storm brews, this time in her ego. You see, many women are used to being chased, not because they're evil or manipulative, but because society conditions them to expect it. Social media, dating apps, attention loops. It's all designed to feed the feminine ego. So when a man doesn't chase, when he steps back, when he chooses detachment over desperation, her ego panics. Marcus Aurelius taught, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. But in her world, you are the outside event. She can't control your silence. She can't force your energy back. And that loss of control, it threatens her self-image. Suddenly, the thoughts get darker. Was I not good enough? Did he get bored? Why isn't he obsessed with me like others are? Her self-perception is now under attack. Not because you insulted her, but because you did something worse. You ignored her. And in a world where attention is currency, your silence is a form of power she never expected you to hold. But here's the thing. This isn't about manipulation. This is about respect for yourself. The Stoics believed that chasing is the opposite of wisdom. A wise man does not beg to be chosen. He does not throw himself at validation. He chooses stillness, strength, focus. You didn't stop chasing her to teach her a lesson. You stopped because you remembered your own value. And ironically, that's what makes her start questioning hers. After the silence and ego shift, something unexpected happens. She starts comparing you, not just to other men, but to her own expectations of how men behave. You see, most men are predictable. They chase, they validate, they double text, they flood her with affection, even when it's undeserved. But you're different. You stepped back. You broke the pattern. And in doing so, you activated something deeper in her mind. Marcus Aurelius said, the opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know anything about the subject. And she starts to realize, most men are noise, but you're silence. And silence has a strange way of standing out. She begins to remember things. Your tone, your energy, your presence. She replays your words, rereads your old messages, wonders if she misjudged your value, because now, you're not chasing her. And that lack of pursuit makes her question everything she thought she knew about you. Women are intuitive. They pick up on shifts. And when a man who once gave energy now gives none, she doesn't just notice, she obsesses. It's in this phase that she starts comparing you to men who still chase her. And you know what she realizes? They're trying too hard. You're not trying at all. And that contrast, it makes her wonder what she missed. You became a puzzle, a mystery. And nothing attracts the feminine more than the masculine she can't figure out. At this point, silence is no longer a question, it's a problem. Women are emotional processors. They need reasons. They crave closure, clarity, resolution. But your lack of pursuit leaves none. And the mind hates open loops. Marcus Aurelius wrote, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. But here's the twist. When you stop chasing, you force her to do that exact thing, to go inward, to think, to self-analyze. She may not say it out loud, but she wants to know, why did you stop? Was it something I did? Were you just playing me? Are you testing me? She craves a storyline, but gets only silence. And that, ironically, becomes louder than any message you could have sent. This is not a manipulation tactic, it's a shift in energy. Because closure isn't your responsibility. Your responsibility is living in alignment with your values. You withdrew not to play games, but because your peace became more valuable than her attention, and that confuses her more than anything, because now she realizes you don't need her. You're not seeking closure from her. You're not explaining. You're not apologizing. You're just gone. And for the feminine ego, that's unbearable. When a woman realizes you're truly gone, not pretending, not baiting her, not secretly waiting for her to chase you, but genuinely focused on your path, something shifts. The roles begin to reverse. Marcus Aurelius believed in the law of nature that things fall into place when left alone, and in your stillness, in your silence, in your refusal to chase. She feels the natural pull of curiosity. Why didn't he fight harder? Why is he so okay without me? Why is he unfitly? And here's the truth. Chasing creates pressure, but not chasing creates gravity. The man who does not seek to be chosen often becomes the one who is. She begins to reach out. She accidentally views your stories. She posts things hoping you'll see. She messages, she flirts, she tests the waters. But now, you're not reacting the way you used to. You're calm, grounded, centered. You've become what Marcus Aurelius would call unmoved by externals. Because you've discovered that no woman is worth losing your sense of peace for. And when a woman senses that, when she realizes you are no longer orbiting her, but standing tall in your own purpose, she begins to question, what if I was wrong about him? What if he really was different? What if I let go of the one man who truly had value? And that, my friend, is the true power of not chasing. It's not that you punished her, it's that you prioritized yourself. Eventually, if your silence remains consistent, not cold, not cruel, but calm and indifferent, a transformation takes place. She begins to respect you differently. At first, she may have seen you as just another guy who liked her, but now, she sees something far more rare, a man with standards. A man who isn't led by lust or desperation. A man who doesn't seek approval because he approves of himself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. That's what you've done. You didn't argue your worth. You didn't plead or explain. You just became the kind of man who doesn't chase because he doesn't have to. And in a world of men who fold, who chase, who obsess, you became the rare one who walks away with dignity. You didn't slam the door. You didn't cause drama. You simply withdrew your energy and returned it to yourself. That, over time, forces her to recalibrate her view of you. She starts to remember the calmness in your voice, the confidence in your silence, the fact that you never begged, not even once. And for a woman used to being idolized, that becomes unforgettable. By now, the chase is long over. You're not waiting for her. You're not watching her stories. You're not secretly hoping she reaches out. You're simply gone. Not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, energetically. You've reclaimed your frame. You've remembered who you are. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." You didn't ghost her. You didn't punish her. You simply became unlike the man she expected you to be. And now, she feels your absence everywhere. She may try to fill it with distractions, with attention from others, with validation, but none of it hits the same. Because no man gave her what you gave her and then had the strength to walk away when it was no longer mutual. That leaves a mark, not because you hurt her, but because you showed her what a man with control, boundaries, and purpose looks like. She realizes now, you weren't like the others, and she let that go. And that realization, it stays with her. So, what does a woman truly think when you don't chase her? At first confusion, then curiosity, soon self-doubt, eventually respect, and finally, regret. But this isn't about getting her back. This isn't about winning. This is about remembering that your value was never in your pursuit. It was always in your presence. A Stoic man, like Marcus Aurelius, understands that true power isn't in what he chases, but in what he chooses to walk away from. Your peace is your leverage. Your silence is your sword. And your focus, your unshakable attention to your path, that's what makes you dangerous. So the next time you're tempted to chase, don't. Because while she may forget the man who flooded her with attention, she will never forget the one who had the strength to withhold it with purpose, with calm, and with stoic precision.